that was terrible.
Hi, I'm Kenzie, and I'm here with my good, beautiful friend Liz, who is releasing a very cool album under. Is it? Are you okay?
I'm gonna sneeze.
He's flipping. I thought you got on. That's already
Tries so hard.
the shots. Are you gonna sneeze? Okay. Anyway,
Keep this.
who's releasing a very cool album soon? They here under the name Palewater. So make sure you go check it out on Bandcamp or what's the name of the other place?
Nina.
Nina. Is that Nina?
Nina. It's
Like the
ninaprotocol.com, but it's just like a really
yeah.
cool
And what's the name of the album?
felt heart is the
Um,
name.
well, first question, why is that the name?
Um, well, it's a little bit of a kind of play on words for like heartfelt, but it's just like the other way around.
Wow.
I kind of started with the idea of what the cover would be like first
Mm,
before doing the music, and I just sort of I liked something that sounded soft and a
yeah.
bit worn and like not being afraid to be a little bit kind of more emotions and things like that. So the idea of having a heart that's made out of felt was quite nice to me.
I was going to ask you about how the process was. So you're saying you started with the cover and the title, I
Yeah,
guess,
yeah, I
and
think
then
so.
worked from there.
Yeah, because I hadn't released anything properly for quite a while, so I've just got lots of stuff
Yeah.
on my laptop kind of building up, and it's all in different files and stuff. And then I just sort of thought of that name or theme, and then started like dragging things in there. I was like, maybe that could go in there. So yeah, so it was the first time I've really done that because a lot of the other times I've sort of had fun, made stuff, and then be like, okay, what's it gonna look like? What's it gonna
How
be
can we put
called?
this together?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, if someone's going to listen to this for the first time, what is the best setting, time of day,
Oh,
weather, even like that would be the perfect fit
that's
for the
such a good
album?
question. I think obviously whenever you would work for you,
Yeah.
but I think a
You
nice
can only listen to it at this
yeah,
time.
it won't work. It
Yeah.
won't play unless you I think in my head I can sort of picture like quite early morning, the sun is kind of rising, but you're in like a house with like other people you care about, and maybe they're all still like asleep,
Yeah.
but you're kind of like half awake, getting up, and you sort of hear like shufflings of people living around and doing their own thing. So yeah, something that's cozy but quiet and um, yeah, when you're feeling quite relaxed and sort of waking up. Yeah.
Okay, let's get into the album. It's my notes. Oh, the notes. Um, so the album starts off with Tender Touch. Was there a specific song that you started with in your process of making the album? Do you remember?
I think the first one, yeah, the first one that I was like 100% this is going to be on it was the second one, Drowsy.
Drowsy, yeah,
Um,
which is
'cause-
the longest track, I think. Yeah.
yes, yeah, it's like seven and a bit minutes. Which is actually we were talking about this whole thing of like dragging things from stuff I made ages ago.
Yeah.
It's a combination of two songs.
Ooh.
So there's it's sort of got two halves to it. So the first half is like me playing kalimba really badly.
Oh, so it's not a Glock.
It sounds like a clock. It could be a glockenspiel. But
In my notes, I put Glockenspiel question
question
mark.
mark? Yeah, so you weren't like 100%. But kalimba is like the sort of handheld thing. It's got little metal notes in it,
Okay,
and
yeah,
it's quite like plinky plonky.
yeah.
But it was a birthday present from Leia, my girlfriend, and
My girlfriend.
yeah, for context.
Yeah,
And I was like the first time properly playing it. I was
yeah,
just wanting to see how it sounded. So it's like those sort of overlapping each other. But then the second half is a song I did ages ago, which originally was called like Water Pulse or something. And
yeah.
it's like more typical, like ambient Tones and Water recording I did ages ago. Um, so the whole thing is kind of stitched together a little bit. Um, but that sort of came together in like an afternoon, and I was like, I don't need to do anything else. It's
Yeah.
like pretty much there anyway.
And why the title Drowsy?
Um, when I played it to like an early version of it to Leia for the first time, and my cat Onion was there as well. Um, she totally fell asleep,
Yeah.
like actually fell like, and then slept for like half an hour afterwards. So it literally put her to sleep, which I don't take as an insult or anything. I think that's kind of what it was designed for. And it does feel quite sluggish
Mm.
and like slow and um because there are sounds in the background that sort of recur through the album of like
Yeah.
I did a recording a while ago when I was still living at home with my family, and there's just sort of like vague shuffling of people like
Hmm.
moving boxes downstairs and stuff. I just loved how it sounded. It felt very comforting to me. It's sort of like knowing that people are there at home that you care about, and
Yeah.
it's quite like a nostalgic feeling for me. So
Yeah. For me, I mean, I've not asked you this, but from listening to it, it felt like the whole album kind of followed a day.
oh yeah,
Um,
okay,
so this song for me kind of felt like waking up and like hearing the like getting ready for like the morning, getting ready for the day sounds like in the background.
yeah.
I don't know if that was intentional.
Not at all. But I love that idea though. 'Cause I agree that the last song, which we'll talk about,
Yeah.
is a bit more like um closed down. It's a
Yeah.
bit more kind of
Like a
muted.
wind down.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit more yeah, minimal and there's not much going
Yeah.
on. But I like the idea. Yeah, it could definitely fits.
Yeah. But going back to Tender Touch, why was that the first track on the record? And when did you decide that that would be the starting?
Um, so initially it was a lot more simple and a lot shorter than the final one.
Yeah.
The final one kind of came about when, and I did this for pretty much all of the
Yeah.
songs. Like I listened to them. I was like, I like this. I like the idea of it, but it feels not quite finished. So then I
Mm.
would just add things to it. Um, but it felt like you were saying about the whole kind of going from
Yeah.
morning to evening. It felt very small and like you could sort of see the tiny little sounds at the beginning. Um, and it sort of felt like kind of something opening up or like the
Yeah.
sun kind of coming up. Um, so I think if it was sort of halfway through, it would kind of take the momentum and
Yeah.
grind it down back to zero again. So it felt very like opening up. So I just sort of, it felt natural to put it there, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Track three, Patchwork Earth.
Mm,
Interesting title.
thank
How
you.
did you decide on that one?
Um, I think that one, like a lot of the tracks, has got quite a lot of distortion
Hmm.
and fuzz and like kind of interference-y
Yeah.
noises. And it felt quite earthy, I guess. And it like um there's a sample in it that sort of plays very quietly in the background of one of my favorite authors, um, Ursula K. Le Guin, the sci-fi and children's book author. And there's a random YouTube clip that I sampled it from, which is sat in front of Mount Etna in
Okay.
America,
Yeah.
and it's got like stunning like flowers around there. It's like a beautiful day, and she's talking, but not really talking about anything in particular. It's more like what you're seeing around you and why these flowers will come out around
Yeah.
you and stuff like that. So I loved the idea of someone just describing what you're seeing around you and not really for any reason
Yeah.
and just sort of talking about it. But it felt it's very like repetitive and slow. And so if you're going from like the tender touch waking up, it's sort of
Yeah.
like now you're walking and kind of looking around and connecting things together.
Yeah, that's kind of what how I pictured it as like you're like maybe starting your commute, but it's not like hit you like yet
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
really.
I'm
Um,
glad you saw that.
but yeah, also like in her speech, she was kind of mentioning a lot of like climate. Well, obviously with like the nature. and also like she says the phrase like it's not the end of the world. Um, so I don't know, there was kind of like a climate themes, like
Yeah,
climate change themes coming in. I don't
yeah,
know. Was that
yeah,
intentional?
yeah. I mean that's the most sort of like Earth slash
Yeah,
climate inspired one, I
yeah,
think for sure. And throughout most of my music, I love putting naturey sounds in because I think some
yeah.
things feel,
The birds.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I think some things feel a bit incomplete without it. Um, but yeah, it feels like a bit more of like a greeny brown song.
Yeah.
If you had like synesthesia or that sort of thing, I feel
Mm.
like that's kind of what you would see. Yeah.
Okay, track four, a word I had to Google, which was flotsam is the title,
Mm.
which, according to Google, means the goods from a sunken vessel that have been cast overboard. Did you know that one?
I knew it because I didn't know it was like ships and like just putting things overboard.
But you knew
So
like
now I do.
something cast away.
Yeah, I knew it was like it's sort of like bits and
Yeah,
like debris and like bits and
yeah.
pieces. Because I think flotsam and jetsam is like that's a thing. So
Okay, that sounds familiar.
yeah,
That phrasing.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's just like the first bit of that. Um, I think I learned that word from is a song by Chicago, which is like an older kind of dance um, group person
Yeah.
that my dad put me onto. And I think that he had a song called Flotsam and Jetsam. That's sort of where it came from. But yeah, this one's a lot. It's
Yeah,
probably
definitely a change of
yeah,
pace.
this is the most different one. And it sort of came about from uh, playing on, because I have a Moog grandmother synth, which is like a bit of a beast.
I really thought you were talking about your grandmother, and I was like, I don't know what that means. Um,
The name of this.
yeah. Okay, that makes more
Um,
sense.
and yeah, and so I was kind of, which produces very kind of classic, um, mono like normal synth sounds you would get in like kind of 80s and 90s music.
Yeah.
And I wanted to sort of transform it into something just totally unrecognizable. So I can't remember how I got to that stage of just, but it's lots of delay
Mm.
and you know
Feels quite stressful, the
it is
track.
a little bit stressful. Yeah, totally. It was initially called Chatterbox
Yeah,
before
I see that.
because I could sort of picture like a kind of unstable,
Mm.
brightly colored box that's kind of out of control and a bit scary looking. There's lots of sounds kind of overlapping each other, and so I guess the way it ties into the rest of the album is kind of um, focusing on the actual qualities of the sounds rather
Yeah.
than like there's no melody or anything like
Yeah.
that. It's like why does this sound really chaotic and like unnerving to listen to? But yeah, so it's lots of experimentation with that one, but I ended up just really liking how it kind of swelled,
Yeah.
I guess, and sort of became like a tangible thing that was
Yeah.
a bit um unnerving because I've sort of gotten into a habit previously, which I didn't really like, of kind of making, you know, very nice peaceful songs that sounded good. But if you sort of play them all back to back, they sound very the same
Yeah.
and they're in like similar keys and stuff and it's kind of it gets a bit like black and white.
Mm.
Whereas this one's a bit of like a short and sharp kind of refresher. It sounds a bit
Yeah.
different.
And to my conspiracy of the day,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
for me, this was like the work day.
Okay.
Like you're at work, everything's going on, it's
Yeah.
stressful, and that's how the song like
Yeah, I
felt to
mean,
me.
maybe subliminally that sort
Yeah.
of bled in because um, yeah, it's very much reflecting of what I was going through when I was making it, and obviously working full time and like commuting and stuff has its toll on everyone. So maybe that was part of it.
Track five. She's seen so many miles. Um, is this some like in the field recording maybe or sample? Is it a train conductor or a train station?
It
And then
is.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, that was a good spot. Yeah. Not one that I've recorded,
okay,
but it was from I think Shibuya station in Tokyo.
okay,
So some because I take the train every day for work and I
yeah,
sort of get used to that kind of rhythm of sound. It's like the same sound every day. So I wanted something a bit unfamiliar and something in the background that's quite it would normally be overwhelming.
hmm,
But if you make it quiet and a bit distant, it makes it like quite soothing and just like one long sort of drone of kind of chattering and
yeah.
metal sounds and stuff. So yeah, so it's from taken from Tokyo.
And is the she in the title referring to a train, or is it
Uh, it
would it
could
be a
be.
person, or
It's in my head.
yeah,
It is a person,
okay,
and it's my mum.
okay,
Because a lot of this um, album and kind of
yeah,
music I've been making up until now has kind of been, you know, my family's gone through
yeah,
quite a lot of change recently,
hmm,
and sort of like a tribute to how much she's, well, seen,
yeah,
but like how much she's gone through, and just kind of talking to her most days, I know like everything she's done for all of us, and
yeah,
I wanted the song to feel quite a bit like a memory. Like I
yeah,
could just kind of picture the classic sort of like movie trope of having like VHS tapes of
yeah. There's like a fuzziness to the track.
exactly, yeah, and that's what I wanted to kind of replicate because we had a thing recently where we sort of dug up some old like family photo albums and stuff, and
Yeah.
that's the sort of song I can kind of picture happening in my brain, like going through all those
Mm.
really kind of cherished memories.
So this one goes out to Lewis's mum.
Shout out Colette.
And track six, From Now On.
Yeah.
This one also has the birds, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And this was recorded while I was still living with my parents. I was kind of sat in the back garden. So that one was the most a lot of them kind of become different things and keep changing. I can't really remember how I even made it in the first place.
Yeah.
But this one I can picture like where I was
Hmm.
sat down. It was very, very simple. And yeah, and it's very straightforward and very minimalist, but I wanted it to more focus on the actual nature sounds of it rather than
Yeah.
having like a kind of thing in the background, something in the foreground. And I think I took the inspiration from for the name from a Cameron Winter song,
Yeah.
and he's like singing it. Tom's a big fan. He's smiling. Um, but I just felt because a lot of the album is about like time passing.
Yeah.
I pictured it as like a looking forward kind of
Yeah.
song, I think.
So after track five, where it was very like nostalgic,
Mm.
and track six, we're like looking
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah.
Okay.
I
And
love how you listen to it and how you see different things like that, and it kind of it, it reassures me that I'm just
so I'm like,
talking
I didn't see
garbage.
anything while
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
listening.
So it didn't affect me at all.
Yeah.
Um,
And the last track, Komorebi.
mm.
Why is that the title?
So I learnt about it from the film Perfect Days
Hmm.
by Wim Wenders, and it's because it has it right at the end of the movie. It has like a still that comes up explaining the definition of it. And from what I believe, it's a Japanese sort of theme or trope or something where it's the pattern that the light makes when it goes through the leaves of a tree.
Yeah,
So
like
it's like the
sunlight.
shadow on the floor. And I think I think about that movie quite a lot, and I think it inspired a lot of this, of just a movie that's could be argued is not about anything, or it's not,
Mm.
you know, there's no like big action scenes or nothing changes. A lot of it focuses on how he kind of takes time for himself and, you know, looks after himself. But there's points in the movie where he's just sat in the park, kind of looking at the trees and eating his lunch and not really doing anything, but he's just sort of content and happy. So, um, yeah, I kind of pictured that song being able to play in someone's head, or like I feel
Yeah.
like it would be quite fitting for that.
So at this point, it's very like content, and also you've brought in a lot of the like sounds of the like the shuffling sounds again in
Yeah.
this track.
So it's actually the same
Yeah,
recording, but I've just kind of chunked it up and
yeah,
kind of taken bits and spread it across. So I wanted that to be like a kind of recurring thing that connected everything together.
yeah. This track definitely felt very like grounding. So I
Mm.
can kind of picture someone like sitting on that bench, like you say, and like sort of watching the world go by and
Yeah,
like reconnecting.
yeah. It's like a final resting place. So
Do you have a favorite track on the album,
that's a good question.
or one that you're like particularly happy with how it came out?
I think Drowsy, like I
Yeah,
mentioned before, I just remember how effortless it felt to make that song. And I was so happy to have two things that were totally separate work perfectly together.
yeah,
Because that other song, I did like how it sounded, but it didn't really go anywhere. So I was just happy to sort of collage things together. And when I listened to it and the textures of the kalimba and like a different stereo imaging, it kind of massages your brain. I just I'm pretty proud of that one, and I like how it sounds, and I wouldn't really change anything. But maybe as time goes or things change, I might look back on different things differently. But yeah,
And are there any colors that you see with the album? I know, like when you spoilers, I did the album cover.
the amazing album cover that I'm
Thank you.
so happy with.
When you were asked, like describing sort of what you wanted, you mentioned like especially like pinks and like yellows. Are you still like stuck with those colors, or are there any other colors you think are like important to like picture throughout the album?
Yeah, I think it's hard to like not
Yeah,
see the album cover when you're listening to
yeah,
it, obviously. But I still think Yellows it is quite a happy album, but it's like looking back as well. So things that are faded. So I kind of have like a oversaturation
yeah,
as like a theme throughout it. So maybe you look back and things look more colorful than they were,
yeah,
if that makes sense. So you kind of have like rose tinted glasses over it, and you
yeah,
kind of picturing things being really happy. Um, but it is like the Patchwork Earth song. It's
yeah,
also quite um, I think you said grounded. It's kind of that feels right to me. So maybe more like browns and greens as well. Um, but I don't really see like bold, bright colors like a blue or red or anything like that. It's all washed out. That's kind of how it sounds to me.
yeah.
It's all like a bit warped and worn,
Yeah.
I think.
And you mentioned to me, I mean, just earlier, that you don't want to make any money off of this album. You kind of want, if people do feel the need to like contribute money, you want to like donate that to other places.
Mm.
Like, why does that feel important to you with this project?
Yeah, I mean, I've never really seen music as like an actual means for making money. I wanted it to stay in a place where it was just purely for fun and
Yeah,
for sharing with people. And as soon as I would put like a price tag on stuff, it kind of, for me,
yeah,
it's totally okay for everyone else, obviously, but like for me, it sort of turns it into something out of my control a little bit.
yeah,
And I don't really want to be necessarily gaining things from other people. I want other people to listen to it and enjoy it.
yeah,
Obviously, I love hearing like what you've been saying about what you think about it, but
yeah.
I wanted it to be something that's just available to everyone who would just listen if they would like to. Um, yeah.
So once again, where can people find the album?
If you just search up Pale Water, it's just all one word. Um,
Lowercase, right?
if you, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then Felt Heart, two separate words. Um, it'll be on Bandcamp and Nina.
And where could people find out about if you have any future projects?
Yeah.
Or would it be following you? I assume I'm really, this is where people find out I'm very knowledgeable about Bandcamp, but can you follow people on?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
follow people on there, and on Nina as well.
yeah.
So it's like the different profiles and stuff.
Right.
But yeah, I use Instagram sometimes. I don't use it a lot, but I have a sort of more art music account called Bad Temperate. It's all one word.
Yes.
If you'd like to see more stuff. Yeah.
So thank you very much, and make sure you stream.
Felt hard by Palewater, and make sure you read Kenzie's magazine, which is
Yes,
incredible.
hopefully coming soon.
Yeah, it will be.
Are you still recording? Stop.